Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ISO GOAT here, back again for another quick video for y'all. Let me start this by saying I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I have any financial experience whatsoever. Do not invest in anything solely based off my opinions or anything that I say in this video until you've done your own due diligence and your own research first. Never throw in more money than you're willing to lose, and also make sure you have a firm understanding on crypto before you throw in any money. With that being said, so I actually just wanted to talk about a document. It's at WH.Gov, which is basically WhiteHouse.Gov. So this is not just my opinions. This is actually actual documentation on their website, and you can check it out. I will also pin it in the description for anybody that wants or needs it to look at it. So I wanted to talk about the G20 Bali Leaders Declaration. Like I said, so basically, this is a forum for global economic cooperation. There's a lot of different ideas and topics that they touch on in this document. I'm not really going to focus on the entire thing. There's a lot of bullet points and everything noted. You guys can look at it yourself. A couple I do want to touch on. So basically, they met in Bali on November 15th and November 16th to talk about basically global peace, stability worldwide, economic stability, things of that sort throughout the world. And they try to address and support lots of developing countries as well. Obviously, the G20 are the main countries that are associated with this, but they are trying to look at it on a broader scale for everyone. So they talk about different things like global food security, obviously trying to prevent hunger, things down that road. The usual thing that they usually touch about or touch base on. So I wanted to draw your attention to not the food supply chain. That's number 7. My apologies. Number 9, they are actually committed to supporting the adoption of innovative practices and technologies. Obviously, we know blockchain technology is coming in the very near future. For those that don't agree with that, cool, you're entitled to your own opinion. Whatever your opinion is, that's fine. I'm not here to change anybody's opinion. I'm just here to put the information out there. You can take with it how you want. You can interpret it how you want as well. So I wanted to go to number 11 real quick, and just to read it to you. I'm not going to change any verbiage. This is not my interpretation. This is literally verbatim from the actual website. So if you scroll to number 11, it says, "We meet at a time of climate and energy crisis compounded by geopolitical challenges. We are experiencing volatility in energy prices and markets and shortage/disruptions to energy supply. We underline the urgency to rapidly transform and diversify energy systems, advance energy security and resilience and market stability by accelerating and ensuring clean, sustainable, just, affordable, and inclusive energy transitions and flow of sustainable investments. We stress the importance of ensuring that global energy demand is matched by affordable energy supplies." XRP Ledger is very energy efficient. Just for those that don't know, it's actually 57,000 times more efficient than Bitcoin. A lot of people associate it with being a green currency. Like I said, it doesn't leave a huge footprint. Obviously everything's trying to go to sustainable, renewable energy, things like that. Things that don't damage the environment, essentially, is what I'm trying to get at. "We reiterate our commitment to achieve global net zero greenhouse gas emissions, carbon neutrality by or around mid-century while taking into account the latest scientific developments and differential national circumstances. We call for continued support for developing countries, especially in the most vulnerable countries, in terms of providing access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy, capacity building affordable, latest technology within the public domain, mutually beneficial technology cooperation, and financing mitigation actions in the energy sector." That's a lot of words, I know. Basically, long story short, they want something reliable, they want something affordable. Everybody has ease of access to it, and obviously they keep throwing technology in there. There's a lot of emerging technologies that are coming up. I know that there's banks and financial institutions that probably don't want you to get into these technologies. Cool, obviously do your own research on that. That's your interpretation based off the information you come across. Cool. So I just want to touch base on that one. Then I wanted to scroll on down to number 25. Once again, this is also going to be posted in the description. One moment, let me get to 25. Scroll. 23, 25. "We encourage international collaboration to further develop digital skills and digital literacy to harness the positive impacts of digital transformation, especially for women, girls, and people in vulnerable situations, and further support efforts to develop reliable skills and literacy." They are trying to get us more literate in regards to the digital world. What is digital? Blockchain. Cryptocurrencies are probably going to be involved. I prefer the term digital assets, just my perspective. I'll keep reading. "We note the increasing demands for workforce adept at utilizing emerging technologies I wonder what emerging technology they might be talking about. Education and training, reskilling and upskilling to meet such demands. We also seek to increase connectivity by accelerating high capacity and secure infrastructure and provide more accessible and affordable resources and tools while also improving the digital literacy skills of learners, teachers, school leaders, and other educational professionals to ensure universal access to education, accelerate learning, recovery, and promote lifelong learning. Things are going digital in the future. There's some naysayers out there, that's perfectly fine. They're trying to familiarize people with this, trying to bring it out to the masses, trying to let you know, hey, digital is going to be the future, okay? I mean, they're not always going to say it, in black and white, but I mean, they continue to repeat the word digital, and I don't think that's by accident. That's just my opinion, like I said. Also wanted to touch on number 26. This also goes into digital technology for recovery and empowerment, etc., and to make basically systems more resilient. There's a new financial system coming, ISO 20022. I don't think that's by accident. I think that, this is basically a safety net for in the future, if any kind of, what would be the word? Impacts on the economy do come in the future. There's a way to circumvent that or help prevent the next future crisis, okay? Hopefully that is explained in a good way. But I don't know. They're really throwing some gems out here. Not everybody's going to read these documents, which is perfectly fine. I mean, I definitely recommend each of you peruse through this. There's just certain ones I wanted to touch on. The main one I actually just wanted to get to is number 27. So if you want to scroll on down. We support continued implementation of the G20 roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments, including the future delivery of the initial estimates for key performance indicators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to read all that. At this point, the writing is on the wall. I mean, there's not many companies out there that are focused on cross-border payments. I mean, you could probably type it in Google. You're not going to bring up that many things. I mean, there's certain companies that might pop up, and, it's a regular thing because they've made it known, and that's what their focus is. And, like I said, I think once this cross-border thing happens, they're probably going to branch off into other avenues as well, especially if they have success. And I think potentially they might have a monopoly on a lot of things. That's just my opinion personally. You can take it how you want. Obviously, you don't have to share my opinion. That's fine. But Ripple is a company focused on cross-border payments. Stellar is a company focused on cross-border payments. Okay? One is retail, one is back-end with governments, financial institutions, banks, etc. Okay? These are two different markets they're trying to tackle, but both are focusing on cross-border payments. So that just has red flags going off for myself, obviously, because they've made this known that they are trying to do that. And Stellar itself is working on banking the unbanked. Okay? So it's like, I don't know. They want ease of access for everyone. Everyone should have access to this technology. It's being implemented. It's being integrated, however you want to look at it. And there's people so focused on price and, you're crying about it. And it's like some of these things do take time. Okay, that's just being honest and transparent. And if you were so worried about price, then you probably don't know what you own. That's just being transparent. Because, once this thing does happen and, things do take off, there's going to be some shoulda, coulda, wouldas out there. That's just being honest, It is what it is. And I'm a regular Joe Schmo, so I'm not telling anybody to buy anything or whatever, but ISO 20022, as I've mentioned probably about 47,000 times at this point, is the way for me. Okay? XRP, XLM, XDC are going to be monsters in the future. Trade finance for XDC, it's going to be a wrap once that thing is implemented. Okay? That's just my opinion. Like I said, you can do your own research on that. I'm not here to do your job to research these things. I'm just here to bring forth some articles. You guys can look at it, interpret it how you want. Make your own deductions from it. That's perfectly fine. If you don't share my opinion, that's fine. I'm not. That's fine. I'm just here to bring the information to you. Okay. We are all individuals. We can think for ourselves. Whatever your opinion is, I'm here to bounce around ideas. Okay. As long as we're respectful in that, I am perfectly fine with that. Okay. But cross-border payments just makes red flags go off for me when it comes to Ripple and Stellar. That's just me being honest. I'm sure there's probably other people that share in my same sentiment. Cool. There's people that don't. That's also cool. That's perfectly fine. So we're going to keep the ball going. Number 28 also focuses on digitalization. We endorse the G20 Financial Inclusion Framework on harnessing digitalization to increase productivity and foster a sustainable and inclusive economy for women, youth, and MSMEs, or YAGYA, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, guided by the G20 2020 Financial Inclusion Action Plan. Digitalization. a lot of these things are going to be digitized in the future, okay? I mean, stocks, commodities, it's coming. It's just a matter of time, okay? And, some of this has already been tokenized, just being honest and transparent, okay? We're moving into a totally different world. The world we once knew is changing. It's not going to always stay the same. There's always going to be people that want to keep it the same. They may try to slow the implementation of this technology. That's fine. At the end of the day, that's going to be a losing battle for them, okay? Because digitalization is happening around us, and we are probably not going to recognize this new world that we go into. That's just my opinion. In addition, I think that's pretty much on there. And then we are going to keep the ball going again, and we're going to go to number 21. To support our collective ambition to recover together, recover stronger, we commit to well-calibrated, well-planned, and well-communicated policies to support sustainable recovery. Like I said, this is to prevent the next financial collapse with due consideration to country-specific circumstances. Obviously, different countries need different things. They're trying to have a one-size-fits-all and hopefully accommodate for everybody. Let me see here. And I do believe, I don't know if I mentioned that, the XRPL was established to prevent the next financial collapse, next depression, next recession, next whatever. So that way it doesn't take as much time to recover from it. We have something that's foolproof, that works, and, minimal issues to it, I guess, if you want to look at it in the long run.